Heian Godan. Feet together, bow. Announce the name of your kata, Heian, Godan and Yoi. So this is the fifth in the Heian series. So we started with Shodan, Nidan, Sandan, Yondan, Godan. So Heian number 5. So this kata begins like the previous katas in a back stance. Like Heian Nidan, like Heian Sandan, it's a dynamic movement into that back stance. Previous kata Heian Yondan, it was a graceful, gentle descent into your stance and the arms flowed in that graceful fashion. But we're returning to the dynamic style of movement with the opening technique in Heian Godan, and it's that inside block. So it's uchi in a kokotsudachi back stance. So remember, quickness of preparation. The preparation is low and solid. Of course, you're looking in that direction and looking to you, the camera. Check out the detail here. The hikate is pulled right back to the hip. The elbow is tucked in. So you're actually in a very restricted position here. In terms of the next move, we're going to try and deliver an effective punch, but I haven't got the ability, because of the nature of the stance, to drive my body in as optimally I would want to do. So I'm practicing a restricted technique, which is an important concept in terms of practical application. So for example, you could practice generating power with a punch from a whole host of difficult positions, from lying on the floor with someone on top of you trying to punch upwards with your back against the wall trying to deliver power. So the kata creates that for you. You've got to generate power without a big build-up. I can't do that. I can't drive in. I've got to go from that starting point and still get a punch that will generate some impact. So I've still got to stab that punch in. There is the potential for a little rotation here, which of course you try and achieve, but you mustn't corrupt your stance, because you're in a back stance. You mustn't drag that knee across. So the next move from here is a graceful move. So this isn't done with speed. Let me just show you what the arms do. So from here, the arms, this right one withdraws and the left comes around into that position. Now, the trajectory, the line is important. So the left doesn't do that and come round. Feel as though you're punching. So the elbow is behind the fist, look, and it stays behind the fist, and perhaps you're delivering a hook punch, a kagezuki. All kinds of interpretations from that being possibly historically influenced by a punching technique, or historically influenced by a throwing technique. That's an academic debate. We often talk about bunkais being the practical application. It may in actual fact be the academic application of the moves, an academic analysis of whether that's more likely to be a punch or more likely to be part of some kind of grappling maneuver and a throw. In any event, that debate is fascinating and will never be concluded. But for our purposes today in performing the kata, I want you to make sure the elbows stay close to the body and this comes round, and do it with grace. Do the move big, do the move with style, and do the move correctly. So as you do that, the right foot comes to the left, but there's a detail with your left foot, would you believe, because your left foot is facing that way. Well, I know you'd believe it. There's all kinds of there's so much content in just one move like this. So the left foot is facing that way, but it's got to face that way in a moment as I draw this foot in, because of course in my back stance my right foot is facing that way, my left foot is facing that way. So as that happens, we've got to have that. The right's moving to the left and the left's got to turn. So that's got to happen gracefully. And not only has it got to happen gracefully, your arms have got to coordinate. Your legs are straight, not stiffened, not locked, but they're straight. You're not bent, you're not there. Okay, and then it's a repeat in that direction. So the principles are the same. Speed at this point, your inside block with full vigour, this tucked in, that the correct height. And I've got the same challenge with the left now to develop a little bit of power into that move. When you're doing the kata full speed and power with full vigour, that's maximum. But we're just doing it lightly. So practice just getting a little bit of venom into that. A little bit. Okay, and then we have a similar manoeuvre with the right fist coming round and the left returning. And similarly, same with the right foot has got to turn. As the left foot comes forward, we've got to have that meeting. That's got to be precise, it's got to be coordinated, and it's got to happen with these arms. Good old Maroto Yuki next. Flow through that preparation. Back stance. And then we're doing our Godan Juji-Yuki. There's a detail here that's very, very important. It's your positioning here with your fists. That one now is there. That's the left. So look, I'm in a right stance. Right fist in advance of the left. The left is in the augmenting position here. So the left comes to that position and the right is palm up. And the next move is delivered. It's your Godan Juji-Yuki. So we're reversing those two moves that were performed in Heian Yondan. They were the other way around in Heian Yondan. Remember, we had the Godan and then the Maroto. So the Godan Juji-Yuki and the Maroto Yuki, and then you're into your kicks. It's the other way around. We've got Maroto Yuki first, and then this Godan Juji-Yuki with body rotation. So the challenge here, and you've got to try and do it smoothly and with speed and power, is at that point the left hip has travelled beyond my right. It's in advance of my right, and now I can throw that right side into the technique. I need to get that power into the technique. So here you are facing front, and remember there's a still stop. The Maroto Yuki was a still stop here. Imagine yanking someone off balance. So you try and develop the sort of explosive power that would facilitate any combative movement like that, albeit we're funneling it into a very specific move, and the specific move is a Godan Juji-Yuki with the hands open using the shuto. So hands open, they're based on the shuto-uki, and the sort of angle is the same as age-uki, so not straight, not like that. So here, about there. So this is done by coming upwards. The trajectory is towards your chest and then vertical. Imagine to block there, but don't hit your chest. Imagine doing that, it'd be ludicrous. You can't do that, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work to block. It's got to come back and up, but it's done quickly. Pull, get that feeling of pull, as if I was trying to pull someone off balance. There's your application of the kata. So look, I'm pulling it up. The next move, I must focus that so I don't flow from here into the next one. There's a very, very brief moment in time when I'm dead still, and then I'm down to there. Imagine a need to get your hands from position A to position B. So don't pontificate too much about what you're doing. Don't fuss around here. I need to get that right hand down as a block perhaps, or I need to pull them off balance. Again, the interpretation, it's for you, it's for you. But I must do it quickly. So I'm there. Don't lift that shoulder. I'm down, shoulders are down, lats are down. And that's the position, palm to palm, palm to palm. And in terms of the detail, look, I did that as I came down. That. So it's a highly complex, technical little manoeuvre in the chaos of defending yourself. You know, your brain will solve the problem. You won't be able to go in for, of course, these highly complex manoeuvres. You will need to unbalance an opponent, and your brain will solve the problem for you at a level below conscious thought. But we are actually consciously making that particular technique because the kata prescribes it. So from here, your next move is a strike to low Godan with your left, or it could be interpreted as a block, but it's certainly with a clenched fist. So it could be a strike, could be a block, as in the interpretation. As that happens, you're en route. You're halfway through a complete step to the front. You've withdrawn the right, and you deliver a Godan Oizuki. So from here, we're going, I'll just do the arms for you, left, right, look, left, right. And with the stance, don't slow it down, you've got to get there. You've got to get there. Always match your legs to your arms. Good. There's a complete step through. You don't lift your foot and stamp. It isn't a fumikomi. So you're in a front stance. You're going to turn anti-clockwise, pivoting on your left. Step through into a kibadachi, a straddle stance. As you do that, let me show you the arms. They simply do a Godan barai. They simply do a Godan barai. They don't do anything like that. Nothing over elaborate. As efficient as possible. I'll do it to the side so that you can see. I'll do it slowly. So as you come through, direct preparation into your Godan barai. And that's done in this direction. So we move and we block. And then look, we're going to prepare underneath, palm down, and we're going to twist very late, blocking with the back of the hand, blocking with the back of the hand. Full hikate, full stretch across the chest. Bring your shoulders back. So from here, we get Godan barai. We don't stop there. There's no tension there. We're flowing and twisting very late. The concept of pulling somebody perhaps onto a technique, or the concept of holding somebody and striking, is applied now, because we're doing a Mikazuki Geri. It's not one of our kicks that we tend to do in our grading other than in the kata, but it has great potential in application. It's a crescent kick, it's coming round, so it could be done close quarter, it could be done to the legs. Here it's done Godan. So it swings around and it meets your hand, so the sole of your foot meets your hand. You can imagine, can't you? You might be taking hold and coming around with your foot to strike. So, in any event, as you do that, look, as I'm landing in my kibadachi, I'm back to the concept of pulling and hitting again. And I'm using the same technique, albeit in a different stance, that appeared in the previous kata, Heian Yondan. Moroti uki to the front, kosodachi. So I'm striking. Now I look in this direction, Moroti. Standard Moroti uki, kosodachi, cross leg stance. I'm low, appropriately low in the stance, the right knee's bent appropriately. I'm going to explode upwards. So about that there, not too straight. This one from here stays in relation to the right. Keep those shoulders down. I'm going to turn so you can see. So we've gone from the Moroti uki and we go to there. Now we have a really vigorous lift off. We're going to jump, we've got to drive. So you've got to get your knees up. So you imagine what that would develop, jumping. It's great for developing your agility and explosive power. Athletes are using plyometrics all the time to develop explosive power. It's in our kata. So the arms actually swing to begin with, bypass that point, and you land in a Godan Jujiuki and a kosodachi again. Same height. Don't go too low. Keep your posture. So the bend is about the same bend as you would have in your Zenkotsadachi, and you're making your Godan Jujiuki. So you're in the kata from here. You're airborne at this point, and you've landed, and you've kiai'd. So strong kiai. Moroti uki flowing to the rear. This is in a Zenkotsadachi, a front stance. Now, similar principles that appeared in Heian yonder. I've got to turn and strike with a shutouchi Godan. Godan, striking low with this one. And I've also got to block with the left. Remember in Yondan, the block was there and the strike was also high to Jodan. Agayuki, Jodan, shutouchi. This one, we're still blocking, but instead of that way, we're coming around a sweeping block, nigashiyuki. And it's the coordination that is similar. I'm pausing so you can see. Look, simultaneous block and strike. My strike is low, it's there, low. And this has come to this position, parried and rotated. So I'm here, not shoulders up. It's done quickly, so I want you to try and get from A to B in the blink of an eye. You've got to try that. That needs drilling and drilling and drilling. But you're fully engaged with your hips, and then from there, lightning fast preparation, back stance, and you're in L shape there at the rear, and a Godan Barai fist clenched at the front, and you're in a back stance. So you've gone from front stance to back stance, and have that feeling of ripping, irrespective of what the formal application may or may not be. Have a feeling of ripping. So from here now, stand, you've got your feet together. We've got to repeat what we've just done. The significant thing is, it's a different starting position. I'm facing this way, and I've got to end up blocking with the right and striking with the left. So if I know where I've got to be, I can almost work out how I've got to get there if I understand the principles. So I've got to prepare to block with the right. So that's low. There's no pause here. I've got to prepare to strike with the left. So that's near my left temple. And then as I complete the stance, it's exactly the same, and I end up in this position. That's your penultimate move. That's your penultimate move. But again, you do it quickly, and you don't fuss around in the middle. You've got to try and get round sharply, and then you make that final move. And the final move, for the avoidance of any doubt, because you can't see my feet, move your front foot just slightly, because you're in a narrow zenkutsu. Both the zenkutsu adachis at this stage are narrow. So it's a slight move laterally, but a significant move from weight to the front, weight to the rear. And your final position is as before. Godan Barai, L shape here, wrist straight. And then of course, Yame, Neire, relax.